again is Watson. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. The kick by Sanders is good. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And an alley to run. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive.
And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play that time for the Rams. And even 40 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short game. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Now Newton. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Jalen Smith not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Out of the gun, Newton. And the pressure gets to him again. Danico Autry in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. A shotgun snap for Newton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. He was looking for Crabtree that time. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Once again, they run with Mixon, and this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches.
Richmond.
Operating from the gun, Watson. He can run for it, and he will. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Space to run past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Hundley. This will be his first throw off the bench. Being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Throwing, Hundley. He finds Crabtree for the completion. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. Now Hundley. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Let's go! 38! 38!
They're going to look to throw. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, 2nd half, no quitting here.
0.
Forced out to his left. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. Shedding through the defense and out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Throwing on third down, Watson. This is complete to Watkins on a slant. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. It's taken to the 26. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. They'll set up to throw. On the screen, Bernard. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. They'll set up a throw, eluding the pressure right. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
They'll look to throw here. Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they will take a knee here. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Seahawks, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Oakland Raiders. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.